All right, so you're going to get a tour of everything we've been doing before this storm hits. This is the olive tree, which lost its top in the last tropical storm. Hopefully it will do better this time around. This is the butterfly garden that we had put in earlier in the year. The people that write the historic plant articles for the Historical Society newsletter did it. It's doing good. Got a crow and two. This thing has really taken off. I can't remember the name of it. We got it at Lowe's. It was really small when we got it. The triangular thing is taro root. This is soap ginger. It gets like a red pine cone looking flower. And then this is a combination of pineapple plants, which are taking off slow. Oh. That right there, green, light green, is drooping hibiscus. There's all pineapples that are starting to take off. And then these guys are all sweet potato vines that we made from cuttings. And you can see they're all over the place. We planted like 50 of them, and so far 45 are taken off. This right here in the white pot, and then the other two white pots, is potato mint. It's in the mint family, but the roots actually grow like potatoes, and they're edible like potatoes. There's all sweet potatoes. Pineapple, sweet potatoes. Big pineapple. That's the one that produced the pineapple this year. Took 18 months. This right here is a coming bed that we're going to put sweet potatoes in underneath the magnolia. And this is a moringa tree. Moringa is really kind of neat. If you look it up and read all the properties of tea and eating the leaves, the bark is edible for tea. Also the roots taste like horseradish, so this one is growing. There's sweet potatoes planted around the bottom. And along the fence here we've got aloe. This is peach tree with sweet potatoes growing around the bottom, and then a small blueberry bush. We're going to actually expand, so we're going to take from the fence to here, and then over here to the loquat, which has both sweet and white potatoes growing around the bottom. So we're actually going to make a garden row that connects all these trees. So that's loquat. We're still waiting on this to blossom and fruit. It's been several years. This right here is sugarcane. And if you take a look at the green things coming up around the base of the sugarcane, those are all new sugarcane upstarts. So that'll pull through the winter and it'll be ready for harvesting at the end of next year. This right here is some kind of squash or pumpkin. You can see there's a flower on it. And back here I think she's got cucumbers, sweet potatoes. That cactus to the left will produce fruit that's edible. This thing leaning against the tree is a dragon fruit that was under the pool cage, but we found out it doesn't do good in direct sun. So we moved it here where it gets part shade. This and that are Monstera deliciosa. Monstera deliciosa. It's actually used as a houseplant in most of the world, but when you let it grow wild in the partial shade, it'll get huge and will actually produce a fruit that's about 1.5 feet long, which is crazy. Now I'm going to hone in on that bug so I can take a screenshot later. I haven't seen that one before. All right. So we are coming up on the greenhouse. Everything is tucked inside. You can see I put the cover on the skylight for the storm for tomorrow. These are all canna lilies, which are pretty. She's got all the plants inside the greenhouse right now, but here we've got tomatoes, peppers, blackberry, datil peppers, which were brought here by Menorcans in the 1700s. Green pepper. This thing that looks like marijuana is in fact okra. That's gotten really tall. And inside of here we got eggplants, tomatoes, moringa trees that she made cuttings from, the big tree I showed you. Cuttings that she made of dragon fruit, more moringa, okra, and then cranberry hibiscus. Cranberry hibiscus, which I'll show you in the pool area in a second. That's a blueberry bush. This is apple. That's apple over there, and we're going to make a garden in between over the winter once the heat dies down. This is her corn. So you can see how tall it's getting. And then new to the corn plants are ears of corn that are growing. She's kept these things covered to kind of protect them from the bugs and the heat. But you can see that even the smaller ones are starting to get corn with the silk on top. She's very excited. These two things are blueberry bushes in the raised bed. This is all sweet potato. So she's been harvesting sweet potatoes. The leaves are edible, and it's this thing that we've been taking cuttings from and planting them around the yard. Sweet potatoes do really good here from what we've been reading and watching in videos. So we're going to do more cuttings and plant more cuttings and see how many sweet potatoes we get. Over here we've got tomatoes, which have really kind of stopped producing tomatoes, but the plant is still doing good. We just got a hold of seeds for something called Everglades tomatoes, which are smaller than cherry tomatoes, and we're going to see how they do soon. Just going to plant them. Everything in the bottom is all carrots. Over here we've got muscadine grapes, which are growing up toward the owl house. Got fig tree, which just got trimmed back in a major way. The leaves are starting to come back out, and it's growing figs. There's a fig. The original garden back here really does not get a lot of sun, and it has nematodes. And the only thing that's really taking off back here, other than the onions in the pots, are raspberries or blackberries, one of the two. And also aquatic, what is that? Aquatic something that the monarch butterflies like. Sage, which is out of control. I'm sorry, no, rosemary. This is rosemary. Out of control. These are the poisonous air potatoes. That's one of the things that we just bought. We bought the edible kind plants, and they're actually growing, but they're tucked away in the greenhouse. But these are the poisonous kind, and they grow these tubers in the air, but they don't have any yet. But there's two species. There's Dioscorea bulbifera, which is what these are, poisonous, and then there's Dioscorea alata, which the leaves look the same, but the potatoes are different, which is edible. This is a tree philodendron, and this actually has, I think it has blossoms. This gets a weird looking flower. I think that's it right there in the middle, in front of the light green stalk. But that's a flower. And these things, which I've been trimming now for 6 years, 7 years. This is called Indian hawthorn, and those berries are edible, which is crazy. More edible berries. All these ferns right here are related to Boston ferns, and they have these tubers that grow on the roots that are edible. They're almost like a cross between a potato and a Jerusalem artichoke. This right here is the avocado that we grew from Dennis's tree, the seed. This thing has really taken off this year, with sweet potatoes growing on the bottom. Here we've got blueberry, 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 blueberry. This is a Barbados cherry tree, which is supposed to do good in Florida, with both a blueberry and sweet potato growing. This is lemongrass that Preston brought me. So you can cook with it like in Thai food. It's also supposed to be good for mosquitoes, and we're going to get several more to add to it so it blocks the fence from the neighbor's dog. The banana trees are suddenly doing good. We learned from somebody that just regular grass robs nitrogen from the banana trees, which will make them both not grow and not produce fruit. So we pulled the grass away from the bases, and I'm putting cut grass there as mulch to add nitrogen to it. And since I did that probably about a month ago, all of a sudden this one here by the air conditioning unit is growing little banana pups, new trees. Ever since I put the grass mulch down, I guess it's adding nitrogen back in. And the sweet potatoes seem to really like that. This is the other avocado from Dennis's tree. And this thing has grown up about 8 inches over the summer. It's not getting a whole lot of sun behind that Indian hawthorn, but I think once it gets above the fence, it's going to do really good. This is all Confederate jasmine. So I added another 55-gallon drum to the downspout. So this one here is water, and this one is compost soup. Oh yeah. Ugh. Ugh. So this David the Good Guy that we've been following on YouTube composts with a compost pile. He composts just by putting stuff at the base of his plants, and then he makes a compost soup, which I can divert over to that through the top, and he dilutes the mixture in here, 1 part of this per 10 parts of water, and twice a month he waters all of his plants with it. So this thing is ready to go after the storm. We're going to go ahead and start watering with that to see how everything does. And then around the pool, we've got a cocoa plum right there. There's the cocoa plums. They taste like a cross between coconut and banana. This is citrus. Actually, I think this is a type of lemon. You can see the lemon right there. She's got it in a bag to keep the bugs from eating it. This is Jerusalem artichoke. Something has gotten onto the leaves, which I'm going to have to watch and see what it is now. This is the edible air sweet potato, Dioscorea alata. We bought these from Filipinos up in Jacksonville for like $5 a plant, and they're starting to take off and do really good. So these produce an air potato, and then they also produce a root potato underneath. So we got these buckets at Home Depot for like $10, which is crazy. I think they're maybe 15-gallon, 20-gallon. This is edible air potato, Jerusalem artichoke, citrus. This is cranberry hibiscus. I showed you these in the greenhouse. Martha's been making cuttings. But this is a landscaping plant that looks a lot like a Japanese maple, like what Mrs. Golden had or has or whatever. But the leaves are edible, and they actually taste like a cross between lemon and cranberries. So the kids and Martha graze on this thing pretty regularly. You can see how it looks real full toward the front, but they're grabbing stuff from the back. You can see how flat it is. But this is why she's making more cuttings, so we can grow more. And this is aquatic milkweed. That's what was behind the shed. So Martha puts these out during the day for the monarchs to come lay their eggs on, and then it grows. There is the plant from the beach house. It's doing good. I need to water it though. And Christmas cactuses, your wax plant, cactus over there to the right, and then this is the third avocado from Dennis's tree, which I brought underneath here for safekeeping during the storm. This one we're probably going to keep in the pot so that during the winter we can bring it against the house and the frost won't get it. And the other ones we'll just cover. I actually bought at Goodwill incandescent Christmas lights for like $1 a box, which we're going to wrap the avocados in once we get cold snaps, and then cover them so that the Christmas lights will keep it warm, and we'll see how they do. But anyway, this is the tour of the yard and garden before the storm, and we're going to be praying that everything looks exactly like this after the storm. Right now you can see the trees are moving around. Wind is starting to pick up. We're supposed to be getting 20 to 30 mile an hour steady winds with 50 mile an hour gusts. So we're praying it's not going to get any worse than that. But this is what we're doing.